I'm Joni Simon. I am at The Bite Shot on Instagram, and I'm a food photographer. And one of my absolute favorite places to shop for props is the Goodwill. So I want to go ahead and take you inside and show you exactly how I shop for my props for food photography. So we're currently headed to the miscellaneous section, all those home goods, because I need plates, I need cups, and who knows what I'll find in there. So I usually have a pretty predictable approach here that I just jump on in starting with the plates and I start looking through for exactly what I'm looking for, which it really helps to look for things that aren't too loud, because you look at something like this, I mean this is pretty, it's got a lot going on, which will distract from the food, because for me it's all about taking pretty pictures of food and making the food look good. So let's look through, see what we got here. Ooh, okay. These little guys right here, these are perfect. And these are perfect because it's nice size, but it's also matte. So it's not super shiny when we're taking pictures of food. It's helpful if we don't have super shiny things. It's a good one right there. Let's see. I have been shopping at Goodwill I've been shopping at Goodwill forever. I used to do theater in high school and it was the best place to get costumes. So this is like my home away from home. I love the Goodwill. Oh, here's a really neat piece. Okay, oh, and there's two of them. Super store here. Okay, so these I absolutely love, because when it comes to taking pictures of food, we really like to have some interesting texture, because you've got the food, but you want to kind of set it off, and this really interesting rim that you've got going on here, it's a neutral color, so it's not going to be super distracting, but it's got enough texture that it's going to make for a really, really pretty picture and frame whatever we put on the plate really nicely. So these are a score. Let's see what else we got in here. These look pretty good on. Ooh, these are kind of fun. I love this texture and all these little dots here, and again kind of similar to those plates that we just picked up. We've got this really nice sort of rim on here. Now I wouldn't necessarily always go for something like this, but the food is going to cover it, so it doesn't matter. But this would look really good with some oatmeal and blueberries in it, don't you think? Oh, okay. So I have recently been obsessed with teacups, and Goodwill is one of the best places for unique teacups. I know there's actually some restaurants in town that shop the Goodwill for this. I mean, they're just so cute and so dainty and perfect for just filling out a scene, because when you're a food photographer and you're photographing a dish, you want to make it feel like there's more than just that food going on. There's a whole scene happening. So let's see, what's an interesting teacup? These are kind of fun and funky. Decision process. Actually, I really like this one. Got kind of this little Asian effect going on the rim. I mean, just these unique details. These are not things you can find in typical stores. This is why Goodwill is such a great place for me, because I can just find such unique things that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I love unique little glasses like this. I wouldn't necessarily do this for a cocktail photo or anything, but just to set this in the back of a scene, you've got this really pretty glass, this etching, which is gonna play with the light really nicely and just make for a more interesting scene. So really cute things like this, or you can put little juice in that. I mean, these are unique. Where do you find stuff like this? At the Goodwill is where you find stuff like this. Okay, so there's always a lot of fun sort of it's the miscellaneous section, right? So you never know what you're gonna find, but there's definitely always some cool things hanging out in this trays area. There's kind of a good number of catch-all. And I told you that shiny things don't always work, but sometimes they really do. And so setting this under a plate can really be interesting, or offsetting it in the back of a scene. So you just get some good sort of simple basics that can really help your food photography. Okay, this little guy right here. So this is one of my favorite colors on the planet Earth, as you might be able to tell. It's sort of this little teal green. And so this is just a single salt and pepper shaker. I'm sure he had a friend at one point in time, which has been lost, but that's okay, because this is just gonna be one of those little props that we set in the side to give ambiance, to give feeling to a scene. But the story's not gonna be all about salt and pepper. It's gonna be about whatever food is gonna go with these guys. So I love this little fella. I am so excited what we've just found. Okay, beautiful pieces like this, which maybe you're looking at and you're like, that doesn't look maybe so fabulous. It's kind of dented, a little busted, but guess what? Something like this will clean up beautifully, and copper pots like this are actually worth a good bit of money. So you just take a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend or Rusto and you just put that over the top of it, and this will shine like the sun and be an absolutely beautiful addition to any food photograph. I'm taking this one with me. All right, so I have a personal problem called I have tons of platters at my house, but you can always have room for one more, right? Because I mean, how much do we love this little guy right here? Look at this blue. This is beautiful. I mean, this is not just for food photography. This can be for entertaining as well. And you can get some great finds for your next dinner party at Goodwill too. And so I just love this blue, especially if you put something yellow on there as a complementary color to the blue. It will really pop. Like, I'm thinking I need to make some deviled eggs for this. So I have always loved food. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I was in 5th grade making homemade pasta, but food is where I started my journey in food photography. So I love cooking, but then I started, like everybody, taking pictures of it. But that's where I found my true love and my true passion, which is now food photography, which is what I do full time. So I cook the food, I take pictures of the food, and I shop for props for the food. All right, and then there's just magical little finds like this, because it's always fun to be able to tell a story when you're creating an image. And so maybe pouring something, like I'm thinking this would be perfect with a salad, because we've got this little olive sort of theme going on here. And that can tell the story of creating your own homemade salad dressing. So this is another great find, and I love the neutral colors of it. All right, I'm super excited about all the things we have found today. This was like a really good day to show up and shop, because we've got these great little glasses, we've got a variety of different props. Cannot wait to use this platter. We've got just a good mix of all sorts of different things, colors, textures. They're interesting pieces, they're unique pieces, and that's really what it's all about when we come here to Goodwill, because you can't get this stuff anywhere else. So let's go ahead and check out, shall we? All right, so we're here in my studio, and we remember this beautiful blue plate, right? So blue is complementary to yellow, and of course I'm a huge fan of deviled eggs, so I thought we need to do some deviled eggs with this setup. So I've got some deviled eggs over here that I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna garnish them up, make them look pretty, and then we're gonna set them up in the scene and show you exactly how I take the picture. Let's see, so we've got our deviled eggs, and then I've got some chili peppers on there, because I like a little bit of spice when it comes to deviled eggs. You know, I'm from Arizona, so we want to zip it up a little bit, make them a little more exciting. A little bit of Aleppo pepper on there. Also a little bit of texture, a little bit of color. Again, the contrast with what we've got going on over there. And then just a little bit of Malden sea salt, because that is that really chunky salt with a lot of texture to it. And it's gonna look really, really nice. So let's take them over to the blue plate and see if they look as good as I think they will. Ah, see? See how the yellow contrasts with the blue? It just looks so nice together. Make sure to get them on their good, we gotta make sure the eggs are on their good side, right? Who knew deviled eggs had a good side? Okay. Gotta salt them up. You never want to not have enough seasoning. That just is a cardinal sin. There we go. Okay, and now we look for making sure the best ones are front and center in our picture. Here we go. Actually, let's swap these guys out. That looks pretty good. And of course, you know, do you guys remember this? We recognize this little guy. This was that solo pepper shaker. Well, he just makes like a really nice little accent here in the background, just to make it feel like it's a little bit more homey, a little bit more exciting. Okay, so we've got the camera all set up here. It's connected to my laptop, so I see exactly what's going on. I can see our beautiful blue plate with those yellow creamy deviled eggs, and we're pretty much ready to take the shot at this point. So we line it up, everything looks good. And we've captured our image, just like that. Easy enough. So this is just a little sneak peek for you of how I'm using these awesome props that I got at Goodwill. And if you want to see the final images, you can follow me over at The Bite Shot, or you can follow Goodwill AZ. And with that, thanks so much for stopping by, and have fun at Goodwill.